All right, so again, we're going to be running through some strategies today because we have like 1 hour and there's a cool funnel that I want to share with you guys that Rutger and I have been working on. There's something a little bit embarrassing about this funnel that I'll talk to you guys in a minute that Rutger doesn't even know about yet. But before we do that, why does everyone just say a quick hello, introduce yourself, what it is that you do, and what it is that you specialize in as well, so people can get to know you. So we've got like 13 people on this call, really not looking for the life story here. Again, we got to keep it under a minute. So just let everyone know who you are and what it is that you do. So Alex, do you want to kick it off since your beautiful face is on the screen?
No problem. Yeah, so I'm Alex Afterman. I coach in FATC, and I specialize in Facebook ads for e-commerce.
All right, Cameron, why don't you go ahead?
Well, hey guys, I'm Cameron Walter. I've been an FATC coach for the last nearly 2 years. I specialize in e-com. My day job is making social media content for a very, very large TV company. So I've got a lot of experience on that popping up this year, but I still do a lot of e-com on the side, which is my main specialization.
And Cameron, for those of you that don't know, was like one of my very first media buyers. All right, Derek, the man of the hour.
Man of the hour, whoa. Hi, I'm Derek. I am a coach in FATC as well, based out of Vancouver, and I am super grateful to be here. That's about it. I specialize in e-commerce as well.
Awesome.
Gratitude, awesome, yes.
Derek's got gratitudes for his attitudes. That's cool. Jordan.
Hello, everyone. I am up in Squamish, BC. I primarily work with e-commerce businesses to help them grow. So Facebook ads and everything else in between.
And Jordan has like this secret like double life where like the first time I heard about this, I was like, are you kidding me? This is so cool, where like you want to share what you do as well sometimes as a passion.
Yeah. I wouldn't know where to start. Lots of different adventures.
We're not talking about the choking the chicken one.
No, we keep that buried. Yeah.
So Jordan goes off gold mining sometimes in Alaska, and you've been on like that TV show as well. Like,
they asked us to be on the TV show, but we declined. Well, the boss declined. Yeah, some of you have probably seen it, Gold Rush Alaska.
I wonder if that's a good thing, right? The more you watch of reality TV, the more you're like, I feel like they're really like just after like drama and ratings. How much of this is, Derek knows this, he got shot last year, right? All the drama in Auckland. No. All right, Marsha.
Hello, Marsha Funk here. I am over in the States and I specialize in coaches and online courses, both ads and the funnel side.
And Marsha and Jordan ran our own funnel ads for a really, really long time as well. Fun fact. Karen.
Karen Sahadia, agency owner, Brand Central Marketing, specializing in lead gen and coaches. And
nice.
So also coaching FATC and Academy.
You got your shades on, you're ready for the beach after, yeah. All right, Michal, apparently you have like a beautiful background. Let's see it.
I do?
Oh, wow, yeah. Wow,
so
high tech.
I know. I'm Michal, I wear a tie. I'm actually, Kat, I'm your first Academy student. I think that I need a badge. It was 3 years ago. It's been 3 years, almost to the date, 2016. Wow. I'm an FATC and Academy coach, and I love coaches and online courses funnels, and I am an automations geek.
That you are. Hell yeah. If you want to like know how to set up, every time there's like a schema question, we're like, Michal. Paige, why don't you take the floor?
Yeah, sure. Hey guys, Paige Vanderveer here. I am in Austin, Texas, and I am a moderator in the FATC community. We're probably one of the rare birds that kind of do both e-com and lead gen all the way through the email sequences. And kind of what we specialize in is cross-platform creative. So tying the entire message together to that end user.
I love it. And you've been like, I've been watching you lately, like you've been really getting into like the email side and really crushing like sequences.
Yeah.
I'd love to like chat at some stage about that, because that's definitely an area where I feel like email is still one of the strongest marketing channels. But so many of us are like, not even tracking what sales or leads we're getting from our sequences. And so we go on to build these lists, build these lists, and we don't really know. We're looking at like our open rates and our click-through rates, which is so shady, because it's not really telling you like if people are buying or taking actions, you know? So it's like a place I feel like a lot of us are lacking a little bit in terms of our knowledge base. And I think the reason that is emails involves a lot of copywriting, and people generally don't like copywriting unless you're one of those that do. So you tend to push things under the rug that involve that. Cool. And finally, Rutger.
Hey guys, I'm Rutger. I'm based in Amsterdam. I've been FATC coach now for about 2 years or so, and specializing in messenger bots, automations coming from media buying.
Nice. Cool. Sorry, and I skipped one person, Tamara.
Hey guys, Tamara here. I'm based on the Gold Coast in Australia. I'm one of the moderators in FATC, and I specialize in lead gen.
Nice. Okay, so basically for those of you that are joining us on this, is this even working, Nicole, on Cat Howl and Ad Hacks right now? I just was like, fast. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
no, it's there. Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on the comments.
Okay, perfect. So Nicole is watching the comments. If you guys have any questions, this is actually kind of like a training call amongst the coaches that we have inside of a program called FATC, which is a Facebook media buying support program. And as everyone knows, Facebook has this really fun, quirky little habit where it just updates itself almost every single day, but it doesn't tell the rest of the world that it's done a huge algorithm update. So when you're in the industry, you kind of like have to figure this shit out when things stop working, or when you hear your peers saying, hey, like this is working really well, or this is happening. And so these kinds of coaching calls that we have together, these training calls that we have together, is intended to collectively bring together the experiences and the knowledge so that everyone can get on the same page really, really quickly in terms of what's working, what's not. Because we also know like sometimes the best practice stuff that Facebook tells you to do isn't always the stuff that's working in the ad accounts. Now we have about 40 minutes for today's call. So normally what we would do is go through like all of our coaches and everyone like shares an insight. But today I want to share with you guys a really freaking cool funnel that we've been building with Rutger, and I'll take you guys behind the scenes in that ad account and just look at some of those things there. And then we'll open up the floor to some other strategies and tactics that are working. If you're joining us on the actual live webinar, so I can see that there's already some FATC members on there, I can see your comments in there. So if you have questions, just ask in there. The chat box is like going off about Brandon's green screen. Brandon, do you want to say something so people can see what is happening behind you?
So yeah, I've got a green screen behind me, and yeah, just key out the background. It's pretty simple.
Just casually, yeah. I feel like
casually, you know.
Oh. Wow, you haven't been practicing this for hours on end, right, Brandon?
Not at all.
And this is with Zoom, right? So how do you do this?
So I'm actually using a piece of software called OBS, which
that's right.
Which is a really interesting tool. It lets you record multiple sources. You can bring in multiple cameras, and like share your screen on live calls as your camera.
Yeah. So if you were like trying to tell someone you were on holiday or away or like still at the beach,
Yes.
it'd be really easy to be like, yeah, I'm loving life. I'm right at the beach and you're in your office.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice.
Or like if I'm going to space or
Space. Live out a long
whatever.
life dream. It's the one. Yeah. I'm just like picturing this for Theory of Her with little like flying dicks and vaginas everywhere in the background. I feel like that would be on freaking point. Speaking of Theory of Her, this is the funnel that I want to share with you guys. So Rutger basically approached my sister. So context, most of you guys on this call know this. So I'm just really sharing this for those of you who haven't heard of this before on this call. So my sister and I created an organic female confidence spray. It's been like 2 years in the making now. The problem, and we've only just had bottles that we could sell like literally 4 months ago. So the problem is that because of the nature of the product, we've had a lot of issues with Facebook and Instagram. I've been pretty busy with other things, so I haven't had a lot of chance to actually look at this product and this business. But Rutger bumped into my sister in Vancouver recently, and he was like, yo, I'm building these really cool quiz bot funnels for some clients. I think this would really crush it for Theory of Her. So we got together and Rutger built a bot sequence for Theory of Her. So I'm going to share my screen and take you guys behind the scenes of what that looks like. And then also look at the ad account for that. So Rutger, do you want to like share a little bit about the bot and like how it works and what it's all about?
Let me unmute myself. Yeah, sure. So it's more a quiz. It's the basic outline of a quiz for Theory of Her. And what I've learned in the last, I don't know, let's say in the last year or so, building quizzes for multiple types of brands and products, services, is quizzes, they work. It's sort of the ultimate gamification. It's great. It's a great hook for delivering value for your cold warm audiences, depending on how you structure your quiz, while at the same time you're able to learn more about your subscribers and segment them so you can actually tailor make content to them and market to them based on their wants and needs and their actual input. It's super simple. It's still work in progress. It's seven or eight questions. We score the questions, score the answers. Based on the scores, there's an output.
So I'll take them through the front end first, and then I don't know, we can maybe have a look at like the output side of things and very quickly look at how that's set up for people that are curious. But basically, like this kind of funnel works really well. First of all, this is really common with industries that are trying to cloak things. So like CBD, you'll see doing this a lot.
We did it for CBD as well, and that shot it out of the park. What's it called? That went absolutely crazy for CBD.
Yeah.
So everybody's in the CBD space want to do something with CBD. I answered this question multiple times, but guys, it works. Run quizzes not related to CBD. Think about something related to, in the end, CBD, where you can tie CBD into. Get them through a quiz, qualify your people, get them off platform on email, text, whatever, and then start selling CBD from there. That works.
And so when people go through to the end of the quiz, like for the CBD client that you had, what was the messaging or the call to action that you had then? Were you sending them straight to the sales page, or were you still being really soft with your approach?
Yeah, there were multiple layers there. So what we did, we had a quiz where we asked 5 questions. We segmented the people based on, so there was a pain remedies quiz. So we tried to find out, okay, what's your age? What's your ailment? What's your pain intensity? All that. Now at the end of the quiz, and we did something similar for Theory of Her. At the end of the quiz, we echoed the user input. Say, okay, hey, Rutger, for other men in their 30s that suffer from anxiety, this is this helped really well. Want to know what it is? Tap the button here. And then they tap the button. So we created some curiosity based on their input. Send them to what's it called again? An advertorial. The advertorial was taken down by Facebook at some point because I think there was some stuff going on there. But if you keep it, thing is with the quiz, it goes 5 or 6 levels deep. Now we're talking CBD. So the quiz goes 5, 6 levels deep. So you're not advertising that page directly on Facebook. Sure, there are chances that Facebook comes in, but to the best of my knowledge, the bots, the crawlers, whatever the algorithm doesn't go 6 or 7 layers deep, going through a quiz to eventually find out that there's some CBD on the page. Either way, be careful with it. Try to get people offline, off platform, on your lists, and leverage messenger, email, chat marketing in general to keep delivering value. One of the things we did there were 3 layers. Video sales advertorial, 1 hour after we shared the ebook specifically to the ailment they had. It was anxiety, insomnia, whatever, 3 more. So we shared the ebook. In the ebook, there were call to actions, links, whatever, to the actual products. And then I think on the 23rd hour of opt-in to the quiz, we shared a coupon code with them.
So if you're doing, this is like gray hat shit, by the way, guys, that we're like talking about right now, cloaking, where you're selling a product where Facebook isn't really that fond of what you're doing. And so you're using like Messenger or quiz at the front to sort of cloak yourself from Facebook's bots. But this kind of approach, this kind of funnel can equally work just as well with like a yoga studio or any brand, really. If you are doing it with cloaking, one of the things that I am aware of is that they do have like people going through bots manually. Obviously, they don't get around to every single bot, but if they suspect something, so if you're using like triggering words anywhere, it could get a manual review where someone literally goes through your bot. So if you are doing that, just be very careful with what business manager you're running this ad account out of, because if you have other clients, you could be compromising those accounts by running it from the same business manager. Make sure that you're using different payment methods and credit cards. Never attach it to the same credit card as another account. Again, you're risking compromising yourself. And just be really, really careful with how you present the actual offer and where you present it. The deeper in you can put it, the less likely that Facebook's manual review process or especially the bots will get to it. So this is theory of her. As you can see here, one of the things that I know Facebook hates is the word quiz. Like it hates quizzes and it hates those words right now. So we changed that to say play. Another word that I think Facebook prefers over the word quiz is test. But I know that Facebook's starting to crack down. It's starting to like crack down. Have you guys noticed how like in the last month or two, it hates its own name, like especially hates its own name. So if you're saying Facebook in your ad copy, it's like, nah, computer says no. Whereas you used to kind of like get around it a little bit more and use abbreviations, or I remember at one stage we were like doing all caps lock with like TM, and like we had all these like hacks, like none of us were like, is this actually what they fucking want right now? And it seems to be really intense now. So so this is sending them to a landing page. We've got tracking on this landing page. They click on this and it triggers, so this is a ref URL, right? So basically just like ask them a series of questions and the women just select their answers. Pretty standard. Rutger built all of this part of the bot. We did the copy. Again, we had to be like really super careful with the wording that we used. And I think some of the wording, like here, I'm comfortable not wearing clothes in front of my partner. I think initially that was like, I'm comfortable being naked. And we're like, yeah, that's probably going to get triggered. So just be really careful with what you say in your bot. We then ask to collect email addresses, and then they get given their results. Now this sends them to a second landing page, which is actually what we're optimizing for in our ad campaigns. So this landing page is what we're optimizing for. And then on this page, we have a link to join the community, which is a free Facebook group. And then we also have a discount code for the spray. This is a little bit risky right now. And I would say that if I was gonna be scaling these ads right now, I would be probably building this, because this is sending to the website, which has like words like pussy and orgasms and all the things that Facebook loves the most on this planet. So if I was gonna be redoing this, or if I was going to, sorry, I lost my place, be super safe or scale the ad campaigns, what I would be doing is building a separate funnel, which has really generic copy that just says like, reiterates like redeem your coupon here, and has like an order form or like a sales page with like super soft copy essentially. And what Rutger said is like he continued to give a lead magnet. So I don't know if this is going to work, like straight up giving them a discount. This is a pretty fresh campaign. This is the way we're testing.
We can iterate this. We can iterate this in the bot as well. So let's say 1 hour after somebody finished the quiz, then we can offer them a coupon code. Offer the coupon code in Messenger. Then we can fairly simple create a let's say product feed where we pull in the products into the bot. So we keep them on platform, and then if they want to click out, they can click in the bot to product page.
Mm-hmm. So with the answers that you provided, and I forget the wording that you used for that, like, do you want to quickly just like take people through how you got it? I honestly, I feel like you need to take over here because I'm about to break.
If you click edit here, I think what will be interesting for people to see, if you go to Flow Builder, top right corner, get results, there you go. Okay, so what we do here is, so every question, so what we do in the quiz, there's question 1 till I think question number 7. There, the output is give yourself a score, 1 out of 5. So based on this answer, my score is 1 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
We store the scores per answer. We store those scores in specific custom fields. And in the end, there can be a score. Let's say there's 7 questions, or 6, I think, let's say there's 7 questions, maximum score is 35, minimum score is 7, and anywhere in between. So what we did is we're doing a quick calculation in the bot. It says, okay, if you have, let's say 25, your score is 25, then the conditional logic, which you can see here on the side, recognizes that the score is 25, and it then shares a message that is specifically written to that
like their answer, right? Yeah.
Yeah, their answer, yeah.
Yeah, the results. There's
3 different results. One's low, medium, and high. And at the same time, the copy taps into their score, to their results. And at the same time, we actually are segmenting the audience in the backend without the audience actually knowing it, which enables us to create different website custom audiences, but also segment people on different lists, which enables us to target them with actual copy tailor-made to their wants and needs and their outcomes, which is personally, I think, the beauty of this all.
So so disclaimer about this, as you can see, the ads have all been turned off, but this is only because I have run out of credit cards. And so you know how Facebook only lets you like connect a credit card to so many accounts, and then it's like, nope, this credit card is tied to too many accounts. So at the moment we're using like Prezi cards, which is like top up credit cards that you go and buy at the post shop, and you top them up with $500 and then they give you like a credit card that you can gift to somebody. So this card has run out of funds. It's been 24 hours since it ran out of funds. I do not recommend that you do this ever on any ad account. Facebook hates when you default on payments like this. But disclaimer, this is the situation. So none of these ads are actually running right at the second. We've spent $125, as you can see here, on the actual bot flow. We've had 52 people hit this page. Okay, so we've had 52 people view that landing page, but we've had, oops, where's ManyChat? If we go into here, we've had 145 people go through the actual bot. We're getting emails at $2.40 basically. So we're getting people going through the entire bot for about $2.40. This is about a two-day-old campaign because it got turned off yesterday. So it's super unoptimized right now. But as you can see, the results are pretty cool. This ad set is Kim Kardashian. How fun is that? That's the one that's outperforming all the rest. And so we haven't, so another disclaimer here is we have had one sale, but I haven't actually attached the theory of her pixel to this ad account yet because I am cloaking. I'm trying to just see if if Facebook's happy with the ad copy first, with the flow, and then I will introduce the pixel in case the pixel, I mean, I haven't really heard of pixels get flagged, but we've been just rejected left and right with Facebook for over a year and a half. So the fact that we've even been able to spend $125 right now, it's like we're treading on eggshells and we're really trying to like slowly introduce things so to not disrupt things and also to know if we introduce something, what it was that caused the flag or the bots to go off, because sometimes it can be really hard. Was it your URL, your Facebook page? When you get things disapproved, there's a lot of things Facebook can flag, and sometimes you have to go through a process of elimination to get to all of that. So I have here my reporting column that I've set up for this bot. And for me, all I'm looking at is my cost per click, really, my click-through rate. I don't really have my, well, I do have my CPM, that's a lie. My landing page views, I don't have total link clicks, so I'm missing that figure here. And then I've got view code, which is that thank you page, and then cost per view code. Now, the annoying thing about Facebook is we can't report on Messenger, like messaging conversations getting started with this bot for whatever reason. Rutger and I were like trying to figure it out. We were like, why isn't this showing up in the reporting?
If somebody's got an idea, let me know, because it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. And I think it's because it's like a conversion campaign, but still, you can report on any campaign. So it doesn't make any sense. But what we want the reason we want to see that is because we want to see like, how is the traffic flowing through our actual funnel? Because we're going, okay, we're getting leads, basically emails at $2.88. This is probably going to go down to about $1 soon, which is fantastic. But you can optimize what you're doing by actually seeing what parts of your funnel are dropping your traffic, or how things are converting or flowing through. So we can see here we're getting cost per clicks really, really cheap. Click-through rates are pretty good. And then we've had 265 people hit the landing page. We don't know how many triggered Messenger at this stage, but 52 people have landed on the other page. So what I could do is look at this dashboard and go, well, 145 people triggered that, which gives this, so 30% are clicking on the button to start the chat bot, which is really good. And then a total of 20% are giving us their emails and making it through the entire funnel, which is great.
We're making some optimization, because the beauty, what the beauty is of Messenger and the automations is we know when people actually go through. So we can actually see when somebody entered the quiz but didn't finish it. So let's say somebody came in, we tagged them, okay, quiz start, and then at some point they should have the tag quiz end. So what I saw happening is that, let's say out of the 150 people that went through, let's say 30 or so never made it to the end of the quiz. Could be anything, could be whatever reason they didn't make it. So what we can do, what we will tie in here is sort of recover, a nudge, what I call, say, okay, if somebody comes into the quiz and they don't finish the quiz, let's say in an hour, I'm going to send them a message in Messenger. Say, hey, Kat, looks like you started the quiz. Would you like to finish? If so, click here. They click here, tap there, and then boom, we'll drop them in at the question they need to finish. And then the number of email completions should be higher as well.
Mm-hmm. So I'm not like too schooled when it comes to messenger marketing. When you're sending, if someone's interacted with your bot, you don't have to make it a sponsored message if you're messaging them within a 24-hour window. Is that still the case? Correct. Or is that how, correct. Okay. So if you send them, if they're engaging with your quiz and going through it, and you send them something an hour or two later, you can do that without setting that up as a sponsored message.
100%, sure.
Okay.
You got your 24-hour window there without getting into deep, but 24-hour, 100%. There's you can do whatever you want.
Okay, so that's definitely something that we don't have set up, and we'll set that up as the next step. But this is so fucking cool. Check this out. I don't know if you guys have seen this. So another way that we could track, since like I want to be able to see like which ads and which ad sets are the ones that are triggering the conversations, right? Because looking at ManyChat and going 145, like it doesn't tell me how the traffic is flowing through at the ad or ad set level. So another way that we could track this is if we track this button. So people clicking on this button, because people clicking on this button are starting a messenger conversation with us. Now, previously, if you wanted to track a button like this is what we call inline event tracking. Nicole recently did like a whole, I'm so sorry, Nicole, you literally recorded this like 2 weeks ago, and it's like Facebook's gone in like changed the entire interface again. But Nicole put out this amazing video, and it was like, grab this code and then paste it in here and paste that code there and change the ID and you're fucking done. It's that simple. And it is that simple if you have access to all the funnels right away in the codes. But for a lot of us working with clients, that kind of fucking exercise can take like weeks just trying to get them to paste a stupid thing in their code, you know? So look at this. This is like, I'm tripping out on this because I just saw this last night and I was like, are you kidding? This is so cool. So I'm going into my Pixel tab, which is now called Event Sources, not confusing at all. They changed all of that and I'm like, where are things? And then I go to install my Pixel. I copy this link. Sorry, just so you guys know, I clicked, like I skipped the whole base thing. This is assuming you have your base Pixel set up. I clicked right on event code and it basically took me to this prompt. I'm gonna type in the URL of the page and, oh God, thank God it's working. Sometimes when you try to replicate this and it doesn't work, you just look like a freaking fool. So I came to this and I was like, well, Facebook's taken over my page. What the hell? And it starts talking about this and look at this. So I've already done this yesterday. So I'm just going to delete this so I can show you guys. But I just click on track new button. I click the button. I mean, it's like, I feel like I'm definitely a nerd because like, this is really exciting me right now, but this is really cool, right? But people, when I posted this yesterday in FATC, and some people have said that it is a bit buggy. So I don't know if you guys have had a lot of experience with this tool. I've only just noticed it. But according to Facebook now, I have, so anyways, because I set this up last night, I now have the subscribe button. And I can then just pull that up in my ad reporting. And now I can see how many people hit the landing page, how many people clicked the button, how many people made it to the thank you page, and I can watch the flow of my traffic right through. And that's how I can start to like really optimize that. So this is kind of like the setup for this ad campaign. It's just a basic conversion campaign. I am using CBO for this campaign, so it's got a daily budget of $100. All the default settings are the same. One of the things that I am doing here, and I think you'll see here, our cheapest ad set is using expanded interest. And Alex, I know that you're getting really good results with this right now.
Yes, exactly. I'm actually specifically doing smaller lookalikes than I normally do. Like I like 3-4% lookalikes normally, or maybe even 10 if there's a lot of data. I've been seeing a lot of success with 1% lookalike with expanded interest checked. So
lookalikes, nice. So those are like huge audiences then at the end, right?
I mean, it becomes a huge audience because the 1% lookalike is, so US, it's about 2.1 million people. But when you check the expand interest, this is a little buggy. Sometimes Facebook shows you a bigger audience and sometimes it doesn't, but oftentimes it can be like 10 million people, 20 million people. You're basically, I mean, the theory, which I think, you know, up until recently didn't really work too well, but I think recently they've really got it together, is you're showing them like a kind of a small, narrow 1% lookalike. Like this is very specifically the audience I'm interested in. So now that you have that data, go find more people like it. And so then it expands to like a vast audience.
Yeah. And I always like to like test between using it and not using it. So we've got the two different ad sets here. And yeah, it's really interesting. I have mixed results with lookalikes as well. So I always like test those, and sometimes they work really well and sometimes they don't. So I think it's like at the end of the day, always try this stuff out. There's a reason Facebook's like showing you that option. And they're trying to like dumb it down as much as possible for us, right? They want you to give them as many opportunities to enter as many auctions as possible, because depending on the quality of who you are as an advertiser, while you may want to target an audience of 60,000 people, the reality is there are, you know, 200,000 other advertisers that are ranking way better than you advertising that same exact audience. And so you start to like really restrict your own results and potential growth by limiting Facebook to tiny audiences, especially if you don't have a good quality score as an advertiser. So sometimes if you have brand new ad accounts or you don't have a lot of data on your pixels, or you get shit disapproved a lot, bigger audiences can perform better for you. Okay, and I think that's pretty much most of what I want to share with this. The other thing that I tested out here was copy and then an ad with like 0 copy. So it's just the headline and that's it. And you can see here, the no copy one is actually like slightly, I mean, this is not a lot of data, granted, like we're talking $50 here. But it's performing a little bit better than the copy one, which is really interesting. I don't really know how it flows through. That will be interesting to see once I get all my data. Now I obviously like duplicated these ad sets and then changed the targeting. One of the things the next thing that I'll be doing inside of this ad account is double checking that it duplicated the same exact ad ID. Because while Facebook says that it's doing that, sometimes it doesn't actually work. It can be a little bit buggy, just like my screen right now, which is not responding to me at all. So what I will do is look at the ad ID of my ad. This is my no copy ad. And then I'll just quickly look at another no copy ad and make sure that it has the same exact social proof. So this one we have 11 comments. Okay, perfect. So it's duplicated that. So once I find the winning ad copy, I'll start social proofing this. So I might run a page engagement campaign using that ad ID and just getting more comments, more likes on that ad, because Facebook, A, loves that shit, and B, it really psychologically helps get people interested in what you're doing. And then finally, just the last thing, for those of you who are like curious in terms of like the optimization process of a funnel. So this is all exciting, right? $2 leads, woohoo. It's really easy to like fist pump and go, we crushed this funnel. But at the end of the day, you know, there's been one sale. So this is a $42 product. We spent $125. There is an email sequence. So it's a 6 or 7 part email sequence on the back of this once they give us their email. So there's 52 people in that sequence right now. And normally when you launch these kinds of funnels, you want to give that at least 10 to 15 days for your sequence to start kicking in, to really gauge how well your funnel is doing. Because at the end of the day, ultimately it's about sales and ROAS, right? Like we don't care about $1 leads and emails if those people aren't buying from you. They're the wrong people. So a lot of us get so fixated on our cost per lead. Yeah, I'm getting $1 like Messenger. Like we're getting 75-cent Messenger subscriptions right now. And we're like, yeah, crushing it. But if you're not getting sales, it doesn't matter. So the next step for this is to obviously top up the credit card. I may get penalized for that. So I might see that my CPMs rise because my payment method bounced. And obviously Facebook's not going to be a fan of that. It's going to start penalizing me in the auction process. So I might have to get back on its good books. That might take a little bit of time. But what I'm looking for over the next 10 days, I'm going to run a nice low amount of traffic through, low budget. I'm going to see if it starts converting into sales. I'm going to set up retargeting sequences on the back, messages, and then sponsored messages to anyone that interacted with the bot. And if it doesn't convert into sales, then really the first thing that I'm going to be looking at is the actual messaging. So A, is this type of thing just attracting the wrong kind of person, right? Is it not attracting the right type of buyer? And at this stage, it just becomes a game of tweaking my messaging until I find my buyers, until I find my people. And I think that's something that a lot of us forget about Facebook ads and funnel management, campaign management, is the amount of time that it can actually take to crack something like this that hasn't, you know, a brand new funnel like this. And a lot of us will launch things and then go, it's not fucking converting into sales, shut it down, let's try a different lead magnet, let's do something, blah, blah, blah. When in reality, it's like you just have to tweak and optimize and refine what you're doing until you find your sweet spot. And that can take months. Sometimes that can take longer than that. But if you're any good, it should only take a couple months if you're spending enough budget. So that's basically this bot. Now, speaking of bots, Karen, you're getting a lot of success recently with bots as well. Do you want to share with us like what you've been doing on that side?
Sure, absolutely. So one of the ways we're using bots right now really successfully is for car washes. And this can work for any subscription model, whether it's yoga studios or gyms, things that you can offer an upfront deal on the first month or first week or whatever, and then upsell them from there. So what we're doing is it's a simple collect the claim in Messenger. And the reason we went through Messenger initially was because there was a lot of compliance to work around with company websites and other co-working with other agencies, and it wasn't happening fast enough. So we just went around it. We did a bot. Right now we're getting actually $1 sales. So they buy, in this case, their first month for $9.99, which is about half off for them. And for every $1 we spend, we get a $9.99 sale.
Holy
and then
shit.
From there, yeah,
wow.
From there, when they go in and they go to claim their sale, they're being upsold into a bigger plan, you know, the recurring plan. And so we've got about 45% of the people who have claimed the deal and paid $9.99 are taking the upsell, have
Holy
already taken
crap. That's really high upsell rate. So you're basically sending traffic straight into Messenger, not to a landing page like how we just saw? Yeah?
Yes, the main objective is Messenger.
And then the ad is saying like claim this offer. So it's leading straight with the offer. They go to Messenger, they give you their email, they claim the offer, they give you their payment methods. Do you upsell them on Messenger, or are you sending them to a landing page once they buy? I guess you got to send them to an order form, right? Off Messenger. Yeah.
Well, in this case, because we're working on systems, and this is why it's good for yoga studios as well, because a lot of yoga studio people work with mind, body, and things that are difficult to integrate. So we have to upsell them on site. So they've paid their $9.99. They go in to redeem it and get their barcode for their free or for their car wash for their actually as many car washes as they want that month. And at that point, they get upsold into the recurring plan.
Nice. Holy shit, that's really good. So this is like good for subscription-based businesses, like subscription boxes, and then like membership style businesses like gyms and yoga studios and those kinds of things.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially things where you run into roadblocks with websites or pixel tracking or working with other companies and needing to work around software solutions.
Oh, fun. Those are always the best, right?
Yeah.
And your client has like freaky deaky booking systems where you can't even like put a pixel on them and you're like, awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Med spas are another good one where you work around a lot of those deals. So med spas, dentists.
Yeah. Nice. Oh, cool. All right. And I think we've got time for one more. And Brandon, on your sheet, you had something that like really caught my eye and I wasn't really sure what it was about, but it was like gated videos and you tripled the conversion rates from that. What is that all about?
I'll actually hop in and show you guys this. So I don't know how many of you are familiar with Wistia, but if you're in the kind of coaching or course world, you've probably heard of Wistia. A lot of people are hosting their course content in Wistia. So I can actually just, hopefully this works. So,
no way. What are you freaking doing right now?
I'm telling you. Okay. So this is a landing page for a client. And this entire embed that you see is a Wistia video.
No,
now, this is what they
really?
have called channels. Yes. And there's two pretty exciting things about channels for Facebook marketers, especially if you're using VSLs for gated video content. So when I click start watching, the video plays. We have kind of the intro to the VSL. And then at 3 minutes, we've set up this turnstile. And so this is where we're putting the opt-in instead of sending them to a traditional landing page with an opt-in to show them the video. We're giving them part of the video to try to reduce the friction and keep people more engaged. So they don't see an opt-in unless they get like part of the way through. And the landing page, which I don't actually have anymore to show, the landing page was getting 10% conversion rate. And we're still profitable, but once we did this, we're now getting 34% of people who hit that turnstile, the opt-in, will convert. And overall, the conversion rate is 26%. It's a very small test right now, like 49 plays. The second feature that's really exciting about this is that
so this is, hold on, this is Wistia, this email collection?
On their website.
Whoa.
Yeah, this email collection form is Wistia. It's integrated through ActiveCampaign. They have a Zapier integration, so you can get it into any marketing automation tool that has a Zap. And the second part that's really interesting is I can now, because of their integration with my pixel, I can retarget people based on how much video they watched on this page. So not just like that they hit the page, but that they were actually watching for, let's say, 3 minutes. Or I can make sure that they actually saw the offer, which comes in at about 10 minutes. So this is like, to me, a pretty exciting new way to approach getting people through gated content on pages.
That's insane. I'm just like thinking about it for events where if you had like you know, a really cool video promotion of the event that's like taking through people what it's about, and people watch that video, at the end you could ask people like right off the bat, like have a prompt like request more information or that kind of stuff, and like a seamless kind of user experience, right? Yeah.
So the way we have that one set up is that at the end, there's actually calls to action inside of Wistia that you can use. And you can create a link to like the next step in the funnel, whatever that is. And you can call it out and set them up for any time during the video to go off to create like links inside of the video. But now that, to me, what's huge is tracking the consumption of the video natively with your Facebook pixel hasn't really been something you can do with website video. You can track the page, but I don't know, I click tabs, I leave them open. Pretty exciting to me.
Nice. Well, thanks for sharing. So we have made it like an hour on the dot. We're 1 minute over, but we did so freaking well, guys. We didn't get around to everyone today. If you are joining us on today's live call, basically what this is a group of our FATC coaches. These are all smart mothers, as you can tell. And what we do is we try to make sure that we're across like what's happening in the industry, what's actually working with funnels, by getting together on calls like this so that that knowledge gets passed on, and making sure all our coaches are like super up to date with the new features and all of the wonderful issues that are happening. For those of you watching this, we are also about to enter Q4. If you are an advertiser or working with clients, may the force be with you during the next couple of months. If you're needing help, any support, if you want these beautiful brains and geniuses to go inside of your ad campaigns and assist you with your funnels and what you're doing, then check us out at fatc.cathowl.com. We've got different options for you guys to get started with. You can test it out for just a month and see how you go with that. It is literally less than the price of bringing a freaking intern into your company. And for that cost, you basically protect your client accounts. You don't have to do the math here, save one account, and it's literally paid itself off for like the entire year. So stop thinking you have to do shit on your own, basically, is what I'm trying to say. When you have like peers and colleagues and communities like this that you can tap into. So I hope today's call has been really insightful. We looked at a cloaking messenger funnel. Thanks again, Rutger, for helping build that. I will keep you guys posted on the progress of that funnel. In fact, that is something that we're sharing inside of FATC. And we looked at expanded interest. We looked at selling to subscription box companies, and then this really cool Wistia hack. Thanks, Brendan. So thanks, team, for joining me on the call today. See you guys later. Bye.